guys, Marsing here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today we are going to look at the EZA that a lot of people, once the details came out, or at least, you know, for the Gokus, were considering to be one of the better EZAs out of this batch of 9. And that is the STR God Goku. So this guy considered to be the best out of that batch of like the sub EZAs, right? The AGL one and the STR Blue Goku. And considering the quality of some of the other EZAs, I know a lot of people hold this guy in regard as being one of the best ones overall. So he has a very good super attack effect. It's supreme damage to the enemy, but then he raises attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns. So this is the equivalent of having like a super attack effect that says greatly raises attack and defense, but it stacks because you can get it for 3 turns, right? Which means if he gets an additional super, obviously he not only gets that extra buff for the turn, but then he will still have that buff going into his next appearance as long as you didn't float him off in slot 3, right? So that's pretty good. His passive is Key 2, attack and defense 120%. He gets attack and defense 80% when performing a super. You launch an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super when HP is 59% or more. Then you get an additional 10% attack and defense with each attack performed up to 50%, and reduce damage received by 6% with each attack received. So the more attacks you do, the more he builds up. You have to do 5 attacks in total. He always gets that guaranteed additional attack, and it has a medium chance to become a super as long as you're above the HP threshold. So at a bare minimum, as long as you're at 59% or more HP, he'll always be attacking twice in one turn. And so for the hidden potential, I obviously gave him a decent bit of additional because I would like him to attack 3 times in one turn. I gave him the level 3 dodge. He builds up damage reduction, so hopefully he doesn't need much more than that. Now, starting off, Turn 1, raw stats, no support, no build-up. He's at 114k defense. Now, obviously that's nothing too crazy. He's on the 200% leader skill from the physical God Goku. Now, we've got 4 links with the LR gods, which they're all pretty decent attack links. The problem is none of them are key links. So that is something that we are going to have to bear in mind here. If I do this, am I actually even going to be able to super attack with them? That STR one should come down, right? Yeah, okay, good. I thought so, but, you know, what a great first turn for the showcase that would be if we didn't even get a super attack with him. Alright, then we'll do this. Alright, so, let's see what we got. The gods obviously have the guard on the first turn. Now, the worst case scenario is, of course, if we get super attacked as the first attack, because we build up damage reduction with each hit we receive. So, if the first bunch of attacks that you take in the turn are all normal attacks, then obviously that's going to go a long way to building up that damage reduction, because the earlier you can get that build up, obviously the better, because the first couple of stages hit the weakest. So 5 mil on his first attack stat with no support, that's not terrible, to be honest. We get a normal attack from the additional, and then we do get the additional super, and we jump up to 6 mil. Okay. So remember, each of these are building up his attack and defense. Now, that is one downside to him, of course, is the fact that he did kill Frieza there, which means we don't get the any build up because he didn't get hit in terms of building up his damage reduction. Alright, so we'll do this. I'm just going to hope that he doesn't AoE as the first attack of the turn. That would be awkward. But we'll do this, and then yeah, we'll do this. Alright, so got both the Dokkan Fest God Gokus on the first turn. It's a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. With the support from Bardock and the fact that we got 6 orbs for both of them, we should actually be able to one-turn this Frieza. So as long as he doesn't super before Bardock, then we shouldn't take too much damage. Obviously, Bardock, the first hit you take of the turn is the one where you take the most damage. So if he gets hit with the AoE, it's going to be a little bit unfortunate, but okay, one more. Alright, perfect. God Goku not getting the dodges, but, you know, taking double-digit damage, so I guess it's okay. Bardock now greatly raising his defense. Okay, cool. So now he's got guard. So if Frieza does AoE as the final attack of the turn, if he survives, hopefully the God Gokus will dodge. Even if they don't, they'll have gotten some stacks, and then Bardock has his guard active. So look at these guys with the support from Bardock, and like they only share like 3 or 4 links at most with Bardock. but with his support as well, just putting out like 8 million attack stats. So there's the dodge. Bardock takes double-digit damage, and there's the dodge. Let's go. Alright, so unfortunately though, this is kind of an example of the way these build-up units really can like let you down in certain situations, because this Goku's not going to get any build-up again, so he's still not going to take any hits. So he's up to basically 300k defense. The fact that he has over in a flash, the first awakened is actually a really good attack link, isn't it? Let me double check. Is it like 25%? Yeah, 25% attack and 10% defense. So if he was in the middle, he's got every link active except shocking speed. That puts him at 327k. Right, because I would, if Frieza was on full HP, I would probably run the turn like this, which obviously this would then be a very good turn for God Goku. But unfortunately, it's he's just going to finish him off with this super. So we'll get another stack of the super attack. We got the support from Bardock. Yeah, 8.4 mil. That's pretty good. Now the downside is, like I say, we're not getting any of our damage reduction build up because he's not actually getting a chance to get hit at all, which is a little bit awkward. We'll have to get that going. Let's float off Bardock here. I guess I'll have to put you in slot 1 because otherwise we don't get the orbs for God Goku. But there we go. And then we'll do this. So God Goku, honestly, looking pretty decent so far. Like I said, the only downsides that we've really mentioned is that they've kind of been situational, right? Like him not being able to get hits in on the first turn because we just wiped the first Frieza too quickly. And then obviously we did so much damage against the AoE Frieza in the first turn against him that then God Goku finished him off. So that is something that is the whole like suffering from success meme, I guess, because like if we get all the way to the AGL Frieza and this God Goku's taken like no hits at all and has none of that damage reduction built up, then he potentially is going to get absolutely destroyed. So that is something that you have to bear in mind, and it's kind of RNG related, right? Like when we go into some of these more difficult events, for example, I'm very interested to see, I think this guy could be a good pick for the Metal Cooler Core Red Zone, because remember, against the Metal Cooler Army, you fight them for 3 turns and there is no like killing them early, right? So depending where the attacks are on the rotation, especially if you get him on turn 1, so he's going to be against the army for 2 turns, you can get him hit, you can get all of those hits in and get his damage reduction fully built up by the time you get to the Metal Cooler Core, so that would be quite useful. But yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. So this is the situation that we've now gotten ourselves into, because his defense is start of turn 240k, which, you know, that's not enough for putting him in slot 1 like this. Now, realistically, when you use this guy, if you're going to use him on a team, we would be playing the turn like this, right? Like, he would be on the team, essentially, to be a 3rd slot floating unit. But if I float him off here, then obviously he's going to not come back for 3 turns. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do this, so we can at least get 3 hits in on him here. And then I'm using the damage reduction item so that we can at least, you know, try and make sure we survive this turn. Just so he can get some build up. Because, yeah, see, look at that. Even with a Whis, we take damage. But you see how quickly that number goes down. This is unfortunate, but at least we have a bit of damage reduction. Yeah, so this is the problem, like I say. I mean, it could just be, you know, bad luck for this showcase. You know, I could have recorded this video and we could have got hit. Say he didn't kill him in that first turn, he was getting attacked, what, like 3 or 4 times? That would have made a significant difference to the way this turn played out. So that is something you do have to bear in mind. But looking at his links, it's kind of another issue, right? Because on some of the teams you want to run him on, he doesn't have Kamehameha. So he's not on the 200% leader skill for the Tech LR gods. And so when we look at his link partners, one of his best link partners is the transforming AGL Goku, who's kind of aged out a little bit. Then we've got God Vegeta, who, since we're on the subject of disappointing EZAs, like poor God Vegeta, but Blue Kaioken Goku is a 5 link partner for him, which is obviously pretty good, because on JP, with him having his EZA, Very, very solid unit that, you know, has some good strats around his team build, even though he needs reps of Universe 7 allies, which this God Goku isn't. And then it drops down to 4 links, and that's where we have units like the LR Gods. We have the STR LR Gogeta, who again on JP actually has his EZA, so could be pretty useful. The AGL Gogeta as well, once he's transformed to blue, they share 4 links. But the problem with some of these units is God Goku, in terms of key links, has shocking speed and over in a flash. So he does not have prepared for battle, and that's why he's sharing 4 links with the gods, and they are pretty decent attack links, but he's not getting a lot of key from them. So that's why I think like using him on the team as a floating unit is probably the way he's going to see use from a lot of people. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the Dokkan Fest God Goku, he's not competing with a same name unit for a spot on the rotation. But obviously, we talked about some EZAs that JP has. Global has the EZA for the LR God Goku, who obviously is... wow, we can't get any rainbow orbs in the first slot. Are you kidding me? I don't want to use another item because I want to see him tank a normal attack from Frieza. Because we've got 322k, because this Bardock does have the First Awakened, which, as we already said, is a very good link. But we got no rainbow orbs for the gods in the front here. What's their defense currently? Yes, it's only 300k. So if we transform them, it'd be really nice if they created rainbow orbs when they transformed, but I guess it is what it is, right? Yeah, actually, this is not the best setup at all, is it? So we'll do this and just kind of hope for the best, I suppose. The gods do obviously have some dodge built in, but if we get supered in slot 1, that would be quite awkward. Once they get a super off, they do get a pretty significant defense increase. And then, of course, watch STR God Goku just get super attacked. But alright, there's a dodge. There's another one. Alright, well, he hasn't supered yet. 9.1 mil. So, I mean, he can put out the numbers when you get those links active. That is, and then again, no hit. So, in this entire run, this God Goku has only been hit 3 times, which is kind of awkward, but I guess it is what it is. So, I mean, the run itself is actually not really going that badly, right? Because we can't die on this turn because we have the revival. We have both the God Gokus able to get 6 key. So, regardless of what happens on this turn, we should be fine. Namek Goku only taking 1 hit. Namek Goku? Carnival Goku only taking 1 hit in the middle. He could potentially take a lot of damage from this, even if it is just a normal attack. But because he obviously doesn't have his guard currently. But that would be fine, right? I'm not opposed to him dying here, because then we just get the revival. But God Goku obviously going to go off. Yep, there's another one. Because God Goku only shares... Let's have a look. There's only 4 links with Carnival Goku, or is it 5? Oh no, it's only 3. They only share Super Saiyan Prepared for Battle and Fierce Battle. So, considering the low attack stats, that's not a bad... the low attack stats, the low number of links, it's not too bad. Obviously his intro animation attack buff has worn off as well, that's why the attack stats have gone down. Funny that he didn't dodge the super though, but of course that just allows Carnival Goku to take the hit, get KO'd, and then get the revival. So, thing is, Carnival Goku, I think I've mentioned this in a previous video, obviously super useful for a lot of these events because the revive just comes in clutch like quite often, but I don't dislike his revival animation. I just feel like it's a little bit long, and I've seen it so many times now. I wish there was an option to skip this like there is other animations, right? Because I don't need to... Like, I feel like in very difficult events, you're going to be getting the revival with him very often, so... right, so we got the First Awakened again and the 50% support. Again, no rainbow orbs on the field. Like, we're getting super unlucky with the orb placements on these turns, man. It's crazy. So we'll do this. We're going to get the Dokkan attack here. Now, Goku's been hit, what, 3 times? So that means his damage reduction is up to, what, 18%. He's obviously maxed out his passive in terms of his number of attacks. And so we're going to get, remember, we get 80% on Super. So on Super takes into account the support and everything, right? So 80% on Super means it's close enough to 100% that we can say that he's basically going, especially with the attack, super attack modifier, he's going to be over 500k. In fact, with the super attack modifier, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to over 600k. So over 600k defense with some damage reduction as well is actually really good. The only problem here is if I don't use an item, then the gods probably just get clapped in slot 1. So I'd rather see the attack stat, right? Because this turn, I don't think we were able to do it the last time we had Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, did we? So we've got the first Awakened active, which is that big chunky attack blink, and we have the 50% attack support from Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. So this should be the best attack stat that we see from God Goku, right? His passive is fully maxed out in terms of his attack potential, and we have a 50% support unit. We have all of his links active except for Shocking Speed. So yeah, look at that. He breaks 10 mil. So, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Like I say, as long as you get the attacks in early on in the event so he can actually get the damage reduction, I feel like he actually could be a viable option. Now, again, the problem comes back to something I said earlier about, you know, he's potentially just going to end up being a slot 3 floater on some of your teams. So then getting all those hits in with him could potentially be an issue. Plus, the fact that his super attack effect only lasts for 3 turns. So if you float him, he doesn't have those stacks when he comes back again. So that, I feel like, is probably the only sort of downside about his design. Because if they'd given him, all he had to do is have that super attack effect for 4 turns, and then he would be almost perfectly built to be a floating unit on the team. So I think he's pretty good. We saw him break 10 mil, reasonable, well, more than reasonable defense, really, when you factor in the damage reduction. So it's actually kind of crazy. From what I've seen of the EZAs that I've done the videos for so far, like, the numbers that this guy puts out are clearly better than most of them. So I'm definitely impressed with the STR God Goku, at least in comparison to the other ones, right? Which I guess it's not that hard, but let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think you would actually use STR God Goku? Pretty decent. I'm impressed with what we saw. I look forward to taking him into some more difficult events. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.